Hello, everybody. A very pleasant good evening here at Seneca High School as the Sterling Silver Knights will take on the Seneca Golden Eagles in Week 1 of the Sterling football season. Sterling 1-0 on the year, won 19-0 last week. I'm Brian McLaren, joined by Jake Clark, Connor Strauss. How you guys doing today?
Doing fantastic, Brian. A great night for Thursday night football. Pretty solid conditions here tonight.
Doing great tonight. I think this is going to be a great test for Sterling. Going up against this Seneca team that went 10-2 last year. Sterling starting off 1-0. This is going to be a good test to see how good they really are.
Yeah, very talented Seneca Golden Eagles roster that again won 10 games last year, one of the best teams in South Jersey. But Sterling taking a really big test here early, did not do so hot a couple years ago against Seneca, lost 40-0 the last time they met, but hopefully looking to be a different team this year as they try and take on Seneca on the road and get a big win.
Yeah, and this would be a statement win here for the Knights, especially a team that went 10-2 last year. If I'm not mistaken, they had a pretty solid playoff run. So we'll have to see what the Knights definitely have to bring their A game against a prestigious team like Seneca here.
So Sterling did win the toss. They elected to defer. They'll be kicking to Seneca as they'll start with the football here in the first half. Kick is away. We are underway. Return from just past the 15-yard line. Cut up the middle, and he's still going. There he goes. 25-20, 15-10, 5, touchdown. A kickoff return for Zach Fearon, and Seneca just like that on top 6-0.
Yeah, and I mean, first play right off the opening kick, taking it to the house, and Fearon is one of those guys that had a great season last year, and they're definitely going to keep an eye on him. One of the captains here for Seneca, going into his senior year, definitely got to keep an eye out on number 26, Zach Fearon.
Yeah, Fearon, a very talented back, ran for over 800 yards last year, scored 15 times. He's just a very talented player, one of the captains on this Seneca Golden Eagles roster.
Yeah, and if Sterling is going to win this game, they're going to have to win on the offensive side of the ball. You know how good Seneca's offense is. You got to beat their offense with more offense, basically.
So Seneca getting ready to kick the extra point to make this a 7-0 lead after the kickoff return. Kicker Mason Cuts, boots it, and the kick is up and good. So 7-0 Sterling, 7-0 Seneca just like that after the kickoff return.
And obviously not the way you want to start there as the Knights. Opening kick gets ran back to the house. You're down 7-0, but there's still plenty of game left here for the Knights to, sustain a drive and maybe come back and tie it up on the scoreboard.
So Sterling looking to hopefully try and answer back here early. 11:47 to go in quarter number 1. But as you were talking about, Zach Fearon, a very talented back who was on the return on that play. Again, scoring 15 times last year, had over 800 rushing yards on the ground.
So yeah, now we're going to get a chance to see what this Sterling offense can do against a good Seneca team.
Yeah, and it looked like a very complete team last week. Won 19-0. Probably one of their biggest team efforts I've seen them play in the last 2 years or so.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely did a good job of it was multiple guys getting involved. It wasn't just one person. You could point out Kyrie Hines, Bub Hall, Jaden Ollie Ward. There were the entire offensive line. There was a lot of work that was done from the entire offense as a unit.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of diversity in their offense. We didn't see that much last year where they were switching it up. They were passing the ball a decent amount. They were going to the outside. They were going to the inside. And that diversity, I feel like, what was missing in our offense last year. So
Seneca is going to kick this one away. It's Mason Cuts. So Cuts boots it away. Ball bounces at about the 20-yard line, picked up about the 18. There goes Ollie Ward down the right sideline, still up on his feet. And taken down past the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
good play there. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Jake.
Yeah, I was just going to say Sterling has solid field position here, and let's see what they can do out on this first drive.
A good play there by the Sterling special teams to just block through the middle, let him get to the outside, and overall decent kick return.
Yeah, that return, I'd say, went for about 18 or 19 yards on that. I think that was a very good start. Great field position, as Jake said, and hopefully can be the start to a drive that answers back.
Especially against a team like Seneca, you're really going to want to mix up your play calling this game.
So Hines takes the snap, handoff to Hall up the middle. Nice move. A spin down to about the 40-yard line, gain of about 3.
And a nice job there by Bub Hall, where he really made something out of nothing, ran into a wall and just spun off a Seneca defender. Nice job of picking up some early yards on the first play offensively for the Knights.
You know, James Hall, great week last week. He had 1 touchdown in the air, 1 rushing touchdown. Overall, great weekend, in my opinion, our player of the game. And he's taking no time getting right back into it.
It'll be a 2nd down and 7 from about the 40-yard line. Hines, another handoff to Hall, and Hall met in the backfield, taken down for a loss. He might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. If not, might have lost 1.
Yeah, and Seneca was all over that play there, and you're playing a really good team. They had 10 wins last year. And now 3rd and 8 for the Knights. Got to be looking to make a conversion, especially down 7-0 early.
So it looks like they lost a yard on that play. It'll make it a 3rd down and 8 for the Knights at about the 39-yard line. Seneca up 7-0 early, 10:18 to go in the first quarter. Hines on 3rd down and long, takes the snap, a little quick pitch out, and Seneca raised that one beautifully. It's going to go for a big loss on the play. They'll be down at about the 34, and that'll bring up 4th down and long.
Yeah, nice job there by the defender, number 5, Jamar Watherin. Did a great job of just reading that bubble screen to the outside and blowing it up for a loss of yardage.
And if you're Sterling, you almost want to call an audible in that play call. You can see they're sending a rush. So you almost want to go for a deep ball there.
So Sterling looking to punt this one away on 4th down and 12. About 9:35 to go in the opening quarter. The kick is up. A very short kick, might have been touched, and it will go out of play just short of midfield at about the 48-yard line.
Yeah, I think number 14 for Seneca, Jason Shears, got a hand on that ball.
So Seneca will start in Sterling territory. Looks like they're going to spot it close to the 45-yard line. And they will.
Yeah, and obviously not an encouraging 3 and out there, but once again, we still have 9:28 remaining in this first quarter. Just hoping to get a quick drive here defensively and get the offense back out on the field.
So Seneca with their first offensive drive of the day. Walsh with a handoff up the middle, and he's still going. Taken down inside the 35 to about the 33-yard line.
And you look at Seneca last year, they had 2 800-yard rushers in Braden Davis and Zach Fearon. So they're going to go on the ground a lot, so you really got to make sure that you're defending that.
First and 10, 33-yard line. Walsh calling the play, Fearon to his left. First and 10, takes the snap, looking to throw it to the far side. Pass is caught, and he's still up on his feet, taken down inside the 25-yard line. And that's going to be another 1st down for Seneca.
Yeah, really good read there by the Seneca quarterback. He senses that there's going to be some pressure, makes a quick throw to the outside, and Kyrie Hines just gave too much space there for David Vaca.
Another 1st down and 10 at the 24-yard line for Seneca. Takes the snap, handoff up the middle. And Sterling read that one pretty well. Be a short game, maybe about a yard on the play.
And that's what you got to do there if you're Sterling, is load the box. You know they're going to try and run up the middle. Just contain the run as much as possible.
So a little over 8 minutes to go in quarter number one. Seneca up 7-0. It'll be a 2nd down and 9 from about the 23-yard line. And that's going to be a false start easily. And that's going to move Seneca back. Looked to be the receiver Jamar Worthen here on the near side.
And if you're Sterling, this is a new look at quarterback for Seneca, so you want to make sure that you're sending pressure, not giving him any time to get settled into this game.
2nd down and 14 from the 28-yard line. Looking to throw over the middle. That pass incomplete, overthrew his man. He was looking for Jason Shears on the far sideline, and that'll bring up 3rd down and long.
Yeah, now Sterling's in a really good spot, 1 down away from getting the defense off the field and trying to hold Seneca to at least 3, if nothing at all.
So again, 3rd down and 14 from about the 28-yard line. Walsh takes the snap, handoff. That goes to Fearon. Fearon up past the 10. He'll be taken down right there. And Zach Fearon with a great 3rd down run to make it a 1st down at about the 9-yard line for the Seneca Golden Eagles.
Well, that was played to perfection there by Seneca. The offensive line got all the way to the outside. Fearon found a lane, took it right up the lane for a 1st down. Big game there for the Eagles on 3rd.
7.5 to go in quarter number one. Seneca with a big 3rd down play. Zach Fearon just a menace out there on the turf. He scored 4 touchdowns against Sterling a year ago, which cruised Seneca to a 40-0 victory. Walsh on 1st down at about the 9. Takes the snap, looks to throw it. Rolls out to his right. Still looking, fires toward the end zone. Pass incomplete. Knocked away by Hall. That's going to bring up 2nd down.
And that was a good read there by Bub Hall. Read the eyes of the quarterback, saw an open man, and just came over trying to contest that throw and made the quarterback just give him a little overthrow. Nice job there by Bub at the safety spot.
And if I'm Sterling, I'm sending the pressure. This quarterback, he's struggled under the pressure. They should not let him get settled into this game at all.
So Walsh on 2nd down, takes the snap, handoff up the middle to Fearon. Fearon will to the end zone, in for the touchdown. Zach Fearon, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 1st on the ground, and Seneca will add on. It's 13-0.
Yeah, and Sterling just really has to find a way to stop that run game. If they can limit the run game, they seem to have the quarterback a little frazzled back there in the pocket. Just right now, no answer for Zach Fearon.
It'll be Mason Cutts on for the extra point. 6:52 left in this 1st quarter. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So 14-0 Seneca early, 6:52 to go in quarter number one. And now Sterling will get the football back. Sterling with a 3-and-out on their last drive, hopefully going to try and bounce back. Zach Fearon with 2 touchdowns on the game, and a kickoff return for a touchdown. That was the opening play, and then on that touchdown there, about a 9-yard touchdown run. He's been pretty much unstoppable to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. He's done a nice job and gotten good blocks there from the offensive line. And once he finds a lane, he makes Sterling pay for it, as we saw on the kickoff and then on that touchdown run right there. Even you can look back on that 3rd down conversion where it was 3rd and long for the Eagles, and he found a hole and just managed to get across to move the chains.
Yeah, and Sterling seems to be doing a great job at covering the pass so far. It seems like that the quarterback, Walsh, just really hasn't been able to find that open receiver, but they've been doing a great job at relying on the running game when the passing game hasn't been working, and that's pretty much been all their scoring so far. So the kick is away. Return from about the 8-yard line. Going toward the far side, evades a few men, up past the 40-yard line, and I think that's where he'll go down.
Another solid return there by Jaden Ollie Ward, who had a really good game for the Knights against Lindenwold.
Ollie Ward taken down by Jake Hassan, the junior. And Sterling will start at their own 39-yard line. Seneca up 14-0, 6:40 to go in quarter number 1. Glad you're with us here on Channel 19 for the second game of Sterling's 2023 season. I'm Brian McLaren, joined by Jake Clark and Connor Strauss, soon to be joined by Kevin Schulz as well. Also want to credit Ben Nicholas doing our camera work for today. Handoff up the middle to Hall, and Hall will go nowhere. Stuffed by that defensive line by Seneca.
Yeah, and Seneca's playing the run really well to this point. Biggest play offensively for Sterling is probably about 3 yards. Maybe try and look for them later in the game to go through the air.
Yeah, and Sterling really won in the trenches last week, and it seems like this week they're really struggling in the trenches, so they're going to have to find a way to win in other parts of the game.
So it'll be a second down from their own 39-yard line. A little over 6 minutes left in quarter number 1. Seneca with a 14-0 lead. Again, Sterling at a 3-and-out in their opening drive of the game. They face a second down. Hines takes the snap. A pitch out to Hall to the left side. Makes a cut. Going up the middle. He'll get about 2 on the play up to the 41-yard line.
And Sterling was lucky to gain anything off that play. Seneca read it right away, but the first guy missed the tackle.
Yeah, and I like that they're trying. The first couple runs have been up the middle, inside runs, and they try and bounce it out without outside pitch, just trying to make Seneca a little on their toes. They read it pretty well, and now a 3rd and long here for the Knights.
Seems to be about a 3rd and 9 from about the 40. Sterling looking to avoid another 3-and-out.
I know these last few years Sterling has really relied on the run game, but they also got to start working on the passing game more to switch it up on the offense because it's too predictable right now, I feel like.
I think what they're going to do is I think they're going to try and ease into it first a little bit because I think this is a bit of new territory for Sterling. So I think they're going to try and ease in the passing game as the game moves along.
Yeah, and you saw that
I don't
a
know
little
there, Brian. We might see a pass right here.
There will be a pass. 3rd down and 9, and Hines is taken down. So the sack belonging to Kenny Kanapa. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Yeah, and obviously trying to go through the air there. Nice job to try and switch it up on a 3rd and long, but nice job by the Seneca offensive front, the front 7, getting to the quarterback, Kyrie Hines.
So that'll bring up a 4th down and 11, 4:20 to go in this first quarter. Sterling will punt this one away for the second time. And they're going to fake it and get absolutely blown up as Hines. Nice tackle there by Jamar Worthen, the junior. And it's a turnover on downs for the Knights.
And that's his second impact tackle that we've seen him have. He looks like when he tackles hard, and Kyrie Hines definitely felt that one.
So it'll be a 1st down and 10 at the 36-yard line for Seneca, 3:58 to go. I mean, Seneca really in business. We'll get a timeout by the Knights, their first. So again, 3:57 remaining. Seneca up 14-0.
And right now, Sterling has just not been able to produce offensively and defensively. They've covered the pass game so far well, and they've kept Walsh, moving around in the pocket. But on the run game, Zach Fearon can just not be stopped.
Yeah, again, we've been talking about Zach Fearon pretty much all night. He scored 4 touchdowns against them last year. He was an 800-yard rusher last year, scoring 12 times, I believe, according to our stat sheet. So he's just been a very good player for Seneca. He's the captain for them tonight.
Yeah, and you look at it, their leading rusher, Braden Davis, just graduated last year, so this is Zach Fearon's backfield now.
So 3:57 to go in quarter number 1. Seneca on top 14-0. They'll start at the Sterling 36-yard line. Walsh takes the snap. Up the middle goes Fearon. Makes a couple men miss. Still on his feet, taken down at about the 31-yard line. That was Anthony Tirico taking the snap for Seneca.
Overall, a great tackle, though, by James Hall there. If he didn't tackle him there, he might have been gone to the end zone.
Yeah, Zach Fearon would definitely have been off to the races there if it weren't for Bub Hall. Nice, very solid impact tackle there to keep it from going into the end zone.
2nd down and 4, less than 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Tirico takes the snap. He's looking to pass. Throwing deep down the field to the end zone. Pass is tipped up, incomplete. He was looking for Jake Hassan.
Phenomenal
Nice
play
breakup.
there. Phenomenal play there by Justice Gamble. Just got a hand on the ball, stop what could have been a touchdown.
That was a terrific throw, though, I will say. Anthony Tirico placed that ball beautifully, but Sterling's defense just able to knock it away.
Yeah, and I think the thing that I like that most about that play from Gamble there is he stuck with the receiver the whole time. Didn't let the receiver blow by him on the outside, stuck with him, and gave himself a chance to knock that ball away.
Yeah, and you see too often with cornerbacks, they try and just go for the interception. Good play there by Gamble to just knock it away, make sure that nothing comes out of it.
A 3rd down and 4 handoff goes to Fearon, and it doesn't look like he got enough, as he looked like he got a gain of maybe about 2 up to the 30. It's going to be a 4th down and 4 from about the 31-yard line. It looks like Seneca's going to go for it, and they will.
They could be trying to just draw Sterling off sides here.
Tirico takes the snap. He's going to take it himself. Tirico with a 1st down and more, taken down inside the 25-yard line, just short of the 20, and it's a 1st down for Seneca.
Yeah, and great job by Tirico there on reading the option well, as Zach Fearon was blown up by number 57, Denzel Wiggins, and he keeps it himself and ends up moving the chains there for the 1st down.
Yeah, just a great play call there by Seneca. You know that they were trying to get, they were afraid of Zach Fearon, and they just went right up the middle with the quarterback.
Looks like the ball spotted about the 22-yard line, 1st down and 10. Tirico takes the snap, handoff up the middle to Fearon, makes a cut, and they're going to mark him down inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line.
And on that play right there, Seneca's offensive line had such a surge that Sterling didn't really even get close to Fearon until he was 5 yards down the field.
It'll be a 2nd down and 4 at the 17. Seneca on top, 14-0, less than 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Tirico takes the snap. He looks to pass. Throws to the end zone. That pass is caught for the touchdown. What a catch by Jamar Worthen. And Seneca will take a 20-0 lead.
That's a great throw right there by Tirico, who just put it where only his guy could get it, and Worthen just got up for that ball over the Sterling defender. Great throw, great catch, results in 6 points there.
That's a terrific throw by Tirico. We saw one earlier that almost was for 6 points as well. Sterling able to defend that one, but at that point, now here, Seneca on top 20-0. And there's a fake, and the 2-point conversion is good. The pass caught by David Vaca.
Saw at the beginning of the game, Seneca's passing game wasn't really working. Then the last 2 plays, both completions, it's looking good for Seneca.
I mean, they just had Sterling beat right there. Sterling had no idea what was coming.
Yeah, right now Seneca is just firing on all cylinders. They're beating you with the run, they're beating you with the pass. Right now Sterling just has to find something, get a little momentum going offensively.
So a 22-0 Seneca lead, 1:29 to go in this first quarter. And so far, just Seneca domination so far. And we aren't even done the first quarter yet. Sterling already down 3 scores. So we'll see if they can bounce back. Still a lot of football left to be played. So we'll see. Jake, maybe you need to have a couple Skittles, and maybe Sterling will have some luck.
Yeah, maybe during the break I'm going to have to go over and have some Skittles during halftime, and that'll be the change of luck that we need here.
He'll be the new Marshawn Lynch.
Also, Coach Behringer, our boys basketball coach, has the Skittles jar by the scorer's table every time.
Ah, you're right. I do remember that.
Jay Clark, I mean, he runs a 4.640, so he's got the speed.
If it wasn't
Just got to get in the weight room.
He's got the speed and the gritty. He just needs to build up some muscle.
Yeah, I got the celebration. It was actually a 5 flat at cross-country practice the other day.
All right, way to be honest.
Yeah. Love a humble guy.
We like honesty here on Channel 19.
Honesty is the best policy. That's what they say.
That's for sure.
Definitely what they say as we get back into action here.
Back to football.
Mason Cutts kicks this one away. Return from about the 12-yard line. Goes up the far side, taken down at about the 30, and that's where Sterling will start to begin their third drive of the night.
Yeah, and right now Sterling just has to get anything going. They've gone 3 and out on both of their drives offensively. Just got to find a way to pick up a first down here. And it starts in the trenches. And right now I think that what Seneca's doing a good job of is their offensive line is getting a good surge. Their defensive line is getting right into the backfield. And as a result, it's been a rough night for Sterling to this point.
Yeah, but again, still a lot of football left to be played. 1:23 left to go in the first quarter. Sterling will start at their own 30-yard line. Sterling next Friday will look to play Camden. We will not be covering that game. So if you want to come see the Knights, you'll have to visit Camden.
We will be covering soccer versus Haddon Heights, though. 3:45.
Indeed, we will.
Go Knights.
And a flag on the field. It looks like a false start.
Yeah, it looked like one of the receivers on the outside just jumped a little early, and that's going to set Sterling back on a self-inflicted wound there.
Yeah, definitely not something you need, being down by 22. It'll be a first down and 15 from the 25. Hines takes the snap, looks to throw it deep downfield on the far side. That pass is incomplete, almost picked off.
Looks like it was going to be picked off, but a miscommunication between the two Seneca defenders knocked it out of each other's hands, basically.
And it looks like we have an injured Knight on the far side. Looks like to be Marquise Holloway.
And I like the idea of trying to go down the field there for Sterling, but just throwing into double coverage, especially down 3 scores, is not the smartest idea to this point. We need some sustainability.
Yeah, Marquise Holloway slow to get up. Some of the training staff going over to look at him on the far side. He gets up. He seems to limp off. Not sure if it's under his own weight. It looks like it is. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, he's a big part of the Sterling offense. You really don't want to lose him.
Yeah, him and Ali Ward form a nice receiving duo for Sterling. Hopefully Holloway's okay, and that he'll be able to go back to action. It's second down and 15 for the Knights after the incomplete pass. 1:16 left to go in the first quarter. Sterling down 22-0. Hines takes the snap, a handoff to Hall up the middle. He'll be taken down for a minimal gain of about 3. And we'll bring up third down and long.
Yeah, and right now just nothing going on either side of the ball for Sterling here. Hopefully a big third down conversion would help and gain some momentum and confidence for the Knights.
Looks to be a third and about 14 from the 26-yard line. Less than a minute left to go in quarter number 1. It's been all Seneca to this point. Hines takes the snap. He looks to throw it. He's going deep down the field. That pass is incomplete, almost intercepted. That was Jake Hassan who almost picked that ball off.
even though the passing plays didn't work, I do like Sterling mixing up their offense, getting Kyrie Hines, the freshman quarterback, more involved in the game.
Yeah, and that's an aggressive play call, and that's really what you need at this stage in the game. Down big, still a lot of time, looking for a big spark to get the offense going.
So it's 4th down and 12, 28 seconds left in the first quarter. Sterling looking to punt it away. They punted it away the first time, did a fake punt the second time. They were unsuccessful on that part. They will punt this one away. Return from close to the 45 and immediately taken down. And we look to have some extracurricular activities, but nothing to come of it.
Yeah, and on the punt there, Kyrie Hines took a shot. There are flags on the field, it looks like.
Yeah, that was a violent hit.
Yeah, and then afterwards, Amir Atkins, number 28 for Sterling, lit up number 10 of the Golden Eagles, David Vaca, and Vaca was not happy about it. Not happy with the little extracurricular flex at the end.
He was not having all that.
False start. Illegal formation.
So it seems as though both flags were on the Knights there with a false start and an illegal formation. Both were declined by the Eagles.
So it'll be a first down for Seneca. We'll see, will they spot the ball? Looks like they'll spot it at about the 46. So that's where Seneca will start their drive. They've scored on every offensive possession to this point. 20 seconds to go in the first quarter. Takes the snap, looking deep down the field, and he's going to be taken down. That's number 11, Jaden Davis, with the sack.
And for Sterling, plays like that are really what's going to get you back into the game. Those small momentum gains are going to build up over time and help you get back into this game.
And I really love the play call there for Coach Wiggins. He sends the corner blitz. He's being aggressive. He's really got nothing to lose, down 22-0 at this point, and the gamble pays off there for the Knights.
So a great way to end this first quarter of play. Sterling down 22-0 here early. That was the first sack of the night for the Knights. Again, Jaden Davis on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and long.
Yeah, Brian, and obviously nothing went your way there in the first quarter, but you still have 3 quarters of football here to change the momentum of this game, and I think that sack at the end of the first quarter might be a good spark and a good sign there for the Knights defensively.
I think the biggest thing is in this game, obviously this is a program, when you're talking about Sterling, having a tough year last year, trying to get things back on track. But in this type of situations, when teams are put in this spot, a lot of times you see them lay down and not compete. Sterling's got to compete regardless of the score. And so far I'm seeing that right now. They're battling. They're trying to make plays. You see a lot of hustling. They've got to maintain that the entire game. Don't look at the score. Play for the next play.
Yeah, but they're playing with a lot of heart right now. I'm not seeing a lot of players giving up.
I agree.
Even when Seneca's trying to go downfield, we've seen a couple times where Sterling has been there and have knocked away some pretty deep passes.
And I think that's encouraging to see out of a young, rebuilding program. Down big here, but still competing, still trying to fight and get back into it.
Seneca looking to pass. Little short pass complete. Still on his feet is Fearon, but he's immediately taken down for a loss. It'll bring up 3rd down and long.
that was a fantastic read there by number 3, Jaden Ollie Ward. He sees Fearon running the little screen route out of the backside, a little check down route, and he goes in and absolutely blows it up for a negative gain.
And the read's the difference, obviously, for you said, Jake, in making that play, because you give the receiver space and time, he's going to make a play. But he had no time, no space, and it was because of that read.
So that's going to set up a 3rd down and 20. Little roll out to the left. Looking down the sideline, pass is tipped up, incomplete. So that's going to set up 4th down and long. And a great defensive sequence there by Sterling to start this second quarter.
And that's what you need to get a little life. You're forcing a couple mistakes from Seneca. You're making good reads on the defensive side of the ball. Now that has to translate to the offensive end.
Looks like Seneca's going to punt it away for the first time tonight. Their first drive not ending up in the end zone.
So Mason cuts to punt this one away.
Had to have a little bev break right there.
Timeout goes charged to the Golden Eagles there, as they're going to want to talk this one over. 11:21 remains in this second quarter. It's a 4th and 20. The Seneca Golden Eagles lead it 22-0 over the Sterling Knights.
And a
Thank
good
you,
job
Jake.
on the defensive side of the ball. You know, it was just what we talked about coming into the series, that we needed to see Sterling battle and make plays. They did it on the first down. We talked about that read. And even defensively, defensive backfield, that was a big play in third down. They were able to get there. More importantly, they were able to bat it down. Early on in this game, they got to the spot, the one in the end zone, but the receiver went up and got it in between two defenders. So, you know, this is definitely a game where it's a learning experience. You're going to see Strong, I think, improve as this game gets going.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, they're simply competing. That defensive drive right there where they send the corner blitz, get a sack, make good reads defensively, and then have a good coverage there on 3rd and long, forcing Seneca to punt, is obviously trending in the right direction.
So 4th down and 20 for Seneca. 11:21 to go in the second quarter. Justice Gamble, as well as Bub Hall, the return men. Low snap. Kick is away. Bounces inside the 40. And taken out of bounds is Gamble at about the 35-yard line. So that's where the Knights will start their first drive of the second quarter.
And no question about it, you're going against a tough opponent tonight. You've got Seneca offensively. They're returning 10 starters from a team that went to the Group 3 championship game. So a tough task at hand. But, again, you know, within this game, there's a lot of good looks on film you're seeing from Sterling, where you see some guys doing some nice things. Obviously, that's mixed in with some mistakes, and that's why you're looking at a 22-0 lead here for Seneca.
Yeah, and the mindset on this drive for Sterling should be just to pick up a couple first downs and kind of run some clock here and take away from Seneca's ability to have the ball right back. Because right now that Sterling defense is working almost around the clock.
So Hall takes the snap. He's going to take it up the middle and go for a very minimal gain to bring up 2nd down.
You're not going to do too much that's going to fool a veteran team. You're going to see a team that provides containment, pushes everything to the inside. You know, any type of misdirection play, they're going to be right there in the right spot. So, you know, to get your yards, to get those first downs you're talking about, Jacob, they're definitely going to have to earn it.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that surge from the Seneca defensive line right now is just too much.
So flags on the field. That's going to be a false start on the offense. That'll move it back. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 14 from about the 31-yard line.
And the hard count almost worked there. Had one Seneca defender jump, but 2 Sterling offensive linemen move, and that's where you get that false start penalty.
So 2nd down and 14 for the Knights at the 31-yard line. Hines takes the snap, a little pitch out to the left side. Nice cut by Ollie Ward. We'll get a minimal gain.
And that's what I was talking about, a veteran defense where you've got the containment on the outside right away, yet the inner part, they don't run to the outside. They stay right where they should, cuts back right into the defenders. They're there in position to make the play.
Yeah, good cutback there by Ollie Ward just to get back to the line of scrimmage. That could have been a big loss there for the Knights.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 16. So it looked like they lost 2 on the play. They're at their own 29, 9:17 to go in the second quarter. Sterling down 22-0. Hines takes the high snap, a handoff up the middle. Hall just cruising up the middle for a minimal gain. It's going to bring up 4th down.
And that's a strong run there by Bub Hall. He does a nice job of just keeping the legs moving forward. When the Seneca defenders try and tackle high, he gets a couple extra yards by keeping the legs moving forward.
For the Silver Knights.
So Sterling going to punt this one away on 4th down and 11.
Vaca back deep.
Kick almost blocked. It's bouncing it around the 41. It'll go out of bounds
Ball is going to go out of bounds.
just short of the 35-yard line.
It'll be spotted on the
Well, the night-
And if you can contain the Seneca offense here like you were able to do the last drive, you give your offense a little more time to try and come back and win this game, because if the score keeps going up, it's obviously harder to come back.
Real nice facility out here at Seneca High School. I know the high school's only about 20 years old, but the turf was just installed a year ago. And we were down there walking on it, Mr. K and I. Really a nice field surface there.
Do you think this was like a big inspiration for Sterling to move on from the grass field and make it turf?
Well, I think their turf is actually newer than ours, Brian.
Okay.
Jason Spears.
Yeah, their turf. I think it might be their turf was September last year, so ours is actually was a little bit after that, because they had
We
ours
started around
lacrosse
October.
season. We started October, and I think we the first lacrosse game. What in March? Was it March or April?
I believe it
April,
was
maybe.
around.
Late April, maybe
I
early
think.
May.
Right. Because I remember when you came to the game, you came from baseball, so you guys were in the baseball season
Yeah.
at that point.
There was a lacrosse game, and I think the Lady Knights for soccer had their senior night on the turf as
Okay.
well.
Old Eagles, that's going to push them back.
Oh, that was girls lacrosse.
Oh, that was
so that was
okay,
that was
yeah.
in the spring. Yeah.
All right. My mistake.
But either way, two real nice facilities when you're talking what they have going on here and what Sterling's done in the last year.
Seneca definitely a hike from Sterling, I will say. It was about a 40-minute drive out here, so. It's a little pitch out to the left side. Making a few Sterling men miss, taken down just shy of the 40-yard line.
Another flag on the play.
And Brian,
A flag on the play,
I
yeah.
think that play's coming back. There looked to be a hold by number 10 from Seneca on the outside. David Vaca out at the receiver spot was really holding up a Sterling defender, and that'll bring it back.
Face mask against Sterling.
And I was completely wrong.
Flag.
I was completely wrong there. A face mask against the Knights, and Bub Hall is now trying to plead his case to the official.
Was about a 6-yard
I don't think it'll
lead,
be successful
7-yard
for him.
lead.
Yeah, the officials seem to be very stubborn.
That's going to be enough for a Gold Eagle first down. Ball be spotted on the Sterling 47-yard line. First and 10.
So now Seneca is in enemy territory once again tonight, and they've really just offensively been hitting on all cylinders.
So first down and 10. 47-yard line. We'll hand off up the middle. Makes a couple men miss up past the 40. And taken down just shy of the 35 and the 36-yard line.
About 11 yards. That's going to be enough for
And that was a good run there by Zach Fearon. He found the lane, made a cutback, and then found another lane from the cutback. His vision to find the open space, to get good impact runs, good yardage runs is really impressive.
And I think the key to having that vision is the fact that it started out deep in the offensive backfield. You can really scan what's in front of you and see and pick the open hole. He did a good job doing that.
So first down and 10. Tarico looking to throw. And he's going to take it himself. He's got a first down and more inside the 25, taken down at about the 20-yard line.
But goes on the run. He runs for about
A big gainer by Tarico to gain a 16 and a first down for Seneca.
Tarico, the freshman, the coaches really like him. He mixes time with the senior Colin Walsh. And they think they really have a good quarterback tandem here.
Less than 7 minutes to go. No scoring in this second quarter by either team yet. Seneca looking to make that change. First down at about the 21-yard line. Tarico looks to throw. Immediate pressure by the Knights. Makes a few men miss. Friars pass is caught.
Rico gets out of trouble.
To me, the biggest thing that I saw in that play that I liked was Tirico's ability to feel the pressure, readjust, still keep his eyes downfield, and eventually make the play. That's a big-time play there by a freshman.
Yeah, and he stepped up in the pocket trying to get more room, realized the room wasn't there, dropped back out, rolled out to the right side, and fired a dart to his receiver, who made a nice toe tap catch there on the edge.
And the impressive thing is, like I said, he felt the pressure, didn't look at the defensive end coming in on him, felt it, readjusted. A lot of times a young quarterback, his eyes are going to go from looking downfield to that defensive end, and the play's blown up from that point. But he didn't do that. Felt it, got it downfield, and just really made a nice play right there.
Looks to be a timeout on the field. 6:35 to go here in the first half. Seneca on top of Sterling 22-0. Again, no scoring by either team here in the second quarter. It was all Seneca in that first quarter with a kickoff return for a touchdown to start the game, and they pretty much just took over right from there.
And I think the most impressive thing from Seneca has been their work in the trenches. On some of these runs for Fearon, he's had 4 or 5 yards where he goes absolutely untouched, and then Sterling defenders start to rally around him, and that's why he's getting such big yardage.
And that's what you get from a veteran offensive front. All these kids saw time last year as starters, and they obviously made it deep into the playoffs and are definitely, you're looking at teams definitely feeling the effect of having that playoff experience.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 5 for the Golden Eagles. Handoff up the middle to Fearon. Fearon makes a few men miss. Still up on his feet, and he'll take it in for the touchdown.
Rico hands the ball off to Fearon. Nice running for a Seneca touchdown.
A 3rd touchdown for Zach Fearon, and he has just been unstoppable so far in this first half.
And again, it comes back to the blocking. He just felt behind his blocker until he had to pick a lane. There were multiple lanes to pick from. Found one and just punched it in for 6.
Yeah, there's no question about it. You're looking at a good initial drive from that front 4, and they've just been dominating, especially in the second quarter here.
So Mason cuts on for the extra point. Snap is high, it gets away. Goes all the way back to the 30-yard line, and he's just going to go down at about the 35, so no extra point that time. It'll be a 28-0 lead for the Seneca Golden Eagles with 6:29 left to go in this first half.
Yeah, and Sterling just has to get something going offensively. They've been trying the run game up the middle, not really working, trying the pass game, and Seneca's read it pretty well. So right now, the Seneca defense has just been reading Sterling like a book to this point.
Yeah, again, talking about a veteran team on both sides of the ball. We talked at length of what they've done on the offensive side of the ball. But you're right, Jake, defensively, some teams might fall for a misdirection, might be out of play, out of position. But you're looking at a team here that contains, really doesn't give you much on the outside. When they turn it back to the inside, you have defenders right there. They really play well as a team. And, that's definitely evident here tonight.
Well, you can obviously see the experience from this program. You said 10 out of 11 starters are returning, and they had a 10-win season last year, so they were obviously already successful bringing all those players back besides one. And then I believe that was the running back, so now Zach Fearon takes the reins of running back, who's still a very, very solid running back, as we've seen here tonight. 3 touchdowns.
Quarterback. I think the quarterback's there. Yeah, quarterback's there. They had a senior quarterback last year. I'm pretty sure Fearon is a running back and was a running back, starting running back last year. But in any event, you're looking at a veteran team, as we were saying.
So the kick is away, return from about the 10-yard line, up past the 20, 25, 30. Taken down past the 30 to about the 32, 33-yard line. And that's where Sterling will start with the football with 6:23 to go in quarter number 2.
There's plenty of time to go down the field and take a methodical drive. They just have to find plays that are working for them. Right now, Seneca has been all over. Guess they had a good film study.
Yeah, that's a good point, Jake, because, at this point, there's certain tendencies you're seeing that aren't going to work against this defense. And you want to look at some of the things, like you said, that you had some success with. And, you're a little more confident running those types of plays as opposed to the other ones.
So Sterling going to start at their own 32-yard line, down 28-0. Looking to try and get on the board for the first time tonight. Hall to the left of Hines. Motion man is Ali Ward. Handoff up the middle to Hines, and that one read beautifully. Might have been a loss on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
Yeah, we talked about, Mr. Schulz, how this Seneca defense isn't going to get fooled. They don't bite on the man in motion there. They stick right to where they're at, up the middle, and tackle Hall for a loss.
It's a loss of 1 on the carry. Brings up second down and 11 from about the 31-yard line. Under 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. Seneca scoring 22 in the first quarter, 6 here in the second. It was a rushing score by Zach Fearon, who's got 3 touchdowns tonight, 2 rushing scores, also has a kick return for a touchdown, which was the opening play of this game. Second down and 11 for the Knights. Hines takes the snap. He looks to throw. That pass is caught and immediately taken down just shy of the 40-yard line.
And you talk about plays that you have a higher probability of success. It's just a quick look. Get the snap, 1 step, look, fire it away. Make it simple. Anything that's going to take any time to develop, you're going to have the defenders, as you said, Jake, in on the quarterback, and the play's just not going to work.
Yeah, right now, the Seneca defensive line has gotten very good surge on most of the plays. Being as quick and efficient as possible is really what Sterling needs to do to find some success in this game offensively.
Third down and 2 for the Knights at about the 40-yard line. Looking to avoid a 3 and out. A little pitch out to the left, makes a man miss, but he will go down. And Ali Ward just had no space to go after the first missed tackle.
And Colin Walsh moved before the snap even happened. He read the play like a book, went into the backfield and blew it up. And right now Sterling is just being way too predictable, and that's why they're not having any success on the offensive side of the ball.
Just seems like the same 4 or 5 plays that Sterling is running, and for the most part, it's just nothing going for them. I don't know why they're trying to go back to it. Try and mix it up like they were on that one drive, taking passes down the field. And now by being down 28, what do you really have to lose with changing up your offense?
And Jake, you hit it. Walsh's ability to read that play, like you said, almost get in there right after the back had the ball, and there's really no chance. And you couple that with the nice job that they do in the middle, and there's really no room for Sterling to do anything.
So Sterling going to punt this away. 3.5 minutes to go in the first half. Hines will boot it. And a fair catch signaled forward about the 37-yard line. Clock will stop at 3:22.
3.5 to go in the first half.
So Seneca going to start at around their 34-yard line. Actually, more like the 37-yard line. Up 28-0 against the Knights. Rolling out to the right, up past the 40. Still going, first down and more, close to about midfield. A late flag comes in. That's Jamar Worthen on the run.
And again, Seneca wins there up front. They did a nice job, the receivers that time, blocking on the outside to give Worthen a lane, and he keeps the feet moving along to gain a couple extra yards there on the end.
And the other thing with, like we said, the dominating effort you're seeing from tackle to tackle. They're getting to that second level, and they're cutting off the linebackers, going to the outside. So that's also preventing Sterling from getting there on that play. But obviously right now, Sterling's going to benefit from a penalty.
So look to be a hold on Seneca, so that play's coming back. It'll be a 1st and 12 from the 35-yard line. Looking to throw it downfield on the far side. That pass, is it caught? Did he catch that ball? Yes, he did. What a catch by number 14, Jason Shears. A big play for Seneca. It's a first down.
Yeah, and initially I thought that ball was intercepted by Kyrie Hines, but somehow Shears came down with it. Great catch there on the outside.
And that's the second or third time we've seen that. We saw it on that first touchdown for Seneca where they were there, Sterling, in position to make a play, but you have a receiver going up after the ball, and you saw that with Shears on that play.
A quick snap up the middle. First down and plenty more. Still on his feet. And that's another touchdown for Seneca. That's the senior quarterback, Colin Walsh, with the touchdown run.
And the play design there was fantastic. Sterling was so focused on the running back in the backfield that Walsh just took it, found the lane, and punched it in right for the touchdown.
You could almost see everybody take that one step towards the fake. And a kid like Walsh, with his acceleration, ability to get upfield, took advantage of it, and he was off to the races.
I mean, once he got about 5-10 yards past that line of scrimmage, he was gone.
Yep.
Cuts on for the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So 35-0 Seneca, still with 2:38 to go in this first half. I mean, just complete dominations on all fronts by Seneca. You can't really pay attention to one player. I mean, you can obviously look at someone like Zach Fearn, who's got 3 touchdowns, but he doesn't have all 5. So a lot of players on this Seneca roster making a lot of big plays tonight.
And that last play underlines the difference between a veteran Seneca team and a young Sterling team. Defensively, you saw everybody bite on the fake, whereas when you're seeing Seneca right now on the defensive side of the ball, everybody takes a man, everybody stays at home, everybody stays in position. And that's something that I think Sterling, even though this is a loss, they're going to benefit from the learning of looking at the films and correcting their mistakes.
Yeah, and Seneca's run that option play a couple times, and we've seen the quarterbacks take big runs just right up the middle because everybody bites on the running back. Everybody's so concerned that a guy like Zach Fearn is going to get out to the outside and do some damage, and the quarterback's the one that ends up doing the damage there.
So 2:38 to go in quarter number 2. Seneca on top of Sterling 35-0. Cuts will boot it away. Return from about the 10. Goes up past the 25, past the 30, and take it down at about the 35-yard line by number 30, Declan McCaffrey.
Well, and if there's one positive to take away from this game, it's been Sterling's special teams on the returning end. They've gotten good blocks and good penetration up the field, but that is not translated to the running game on the offensive end.
And you look, I'm sorry, Brian.
No, you go ahead.
You look at this game, this situation. Obviously, you have 2 teams going in 2 different directions, but we talked to Coach Bill Fisher, and he can empathize with what's going on the Sterling end because when he started here, he's been the only coach here in the 21 years of Seneca football. Had a JV schedule initially. Their first varsity season only had 1 win. So he knows what it's like to be on the other side. And, and also you can see there's potential, like what they've done of turning things around.
So Sterling starting about the 36-yard line. Hines with a handoff to Ward up the middle. Makes a few men miss. Spun down. And is the ball out? And it is. It's Seneca football. I mean, Hall was spun down very hard. And I believe that's what made him lose the football and turn it over right to Seneca.
And that was probably one of the better runs there for Sterling, and it's just unfortunate that one ends up in a turnover.
And now the Sterling defense has to go right back out onto the field. after already letting up a long touchdown to Colin Walsh not too long ago. 2:23 remaining in the second quarter. Seneca will start at the Sterling 41-yard line. And a flag on the field. Looks to be on Seneca.
You got a penalty for illegal substitution.
It's an illegal substitution. So that's going to move Seneca backwards a little bit. Tirico looks to be back under center for Seneca. It's going to be a first down and 15 at the 41-yard line. 2:23 remaining. Seneca on top, a lot to a little. And a fake. Tirico's going to take it himself. He's got a first down and plenty more. Still on his feet. Legs churned to about the 22-yard line.
He's on for about 18. That's going to be a first down. Seneca! Tackle by number 8.
So a first down for Seneca.
The thing that's been impressive with Tirico, now we talked about the one play where he felt the pressure, didn't get his eyes off going down, looking downfield, but also his decision making. It's not there. Man, he's shooting upfield and really doesn't give the defenders time to react, and you saw that on that last play.
First down and 10. Tirico rolling out to his right. He fires. That pass is caught.
Tirico on the pass.
That looked to be Jake Hassan on the reception.
And you can just tell that Seneca is more advanced when they're running a rollout play. They're running read options to success against the Sterling team. We saw Sterling try and do a rollout pass against Lindenwald, and just the two times it happened, it was to no avail.
And Jake, that speaks to an established program. Again, we'll go back to what Coach Fisher said, was that he reaches out to the youth program. He's down there working with the kids in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and basically going over their offensive formations and having the youth program run those offensive formations and, you know, giving his input to the younger guys. That way, when they come to this program freshman year, they're hitting the ground running. And you're seeing that right now from the freshman, number 9, Anthony Tirico.
And I think that's what Coach Wiggins is starting to try and do. He's trying to start talking to the guys in the feeder program and really build this high school football program back up for the Knights.
So a timeout for the Knights, their second of the half. Seneca with a first down and goal at the 8-yard line as they look to continue adding to their already massive lead over the Knights.
Seneca making it to the Group 3 South Jersey Finals, only to come up short against Camden, an outstanding team year in and year out. And this is definitely a team that's looking to challenge for that Group 3 championship this year, obviously with not only the experience of last year, but all the people they have coming back.
And a 1-2 punch for Seneca and Camden. Sterling's playing them in back-to-back weeks to start the year. So definitely a big test for them to start off this young season. A flag on the play. That play is going to be blown dead. We'll see who it's on. Too many men on the field for Sterling. So that's going to move Seneca up and help them out even more. Because, you know, they need more help being up 35-0.
Looks like the penalty was against Sterling.
So it'll be a first down and goal at about the 5. Tirico takes the snap, handoff up the middle, and another touchdown for Zach Fearon.
Yeah, his 4th touchdown of the game. Obviously, he's the player of the game to this point, definitely the player of the half. And Seneca increases that lead now 41-0.
4 touchdowns on the night for Zach Fearon. He scored 4 against the Knights last year and has scored 4 again, but we're not even done the first half. Seneca with a 41-0 lead. They beat Sterling last year 40-0. Cuts on for the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is no good. He missed it that time.
Score stays 41-0 Seneca.
And I think the cheerleaders are going to sleep well tonight. Push-ups after every point. So,
And I think that they do the push-ups based on the score. They're at 3.
Let's see if are any of them cheating? Are any of them on their knees? Looks like
Some of them.
There's
A couple of them I don't think know how to do push-ups. They might need to.
Some of them are really doing them right, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Kudos to them.
I wish I could ask you guys a math question here. If they do it every 7, they do push-ups. How many total push-ups have they done so far? If they've done it at every 7. So, for example, they did 7. Then when they got to 14, it was 14 plus their other 7.
Yeah.
They're well over, 100 plus right now.
Yeah.
You're right. Ice them up.
So 1:20 to go in quarter number 2. Kick is booted away. Return from about the 15-yard line. Taken down at about the 33, 34-yard line. That's where Sterling will start with 1:15 to go in quarter number 2.
Yeah, now with just 1:15, got to be looking to hold the ball here, just trying to go into the half with no damage.
And you're definitely, we've been talking a lot about it, but looking at a high-end Group 3 team, they're just solid all around. They can beat you in the air, beat you around the outside. And obviously, with the offensive push we're talking about on the front line, they can really get that ground game going and grind it out. So you're looking at a really diversified attack here from Seneca.
So Sterling with the football, their own 34, 1:15 to go in the first half. Hines takes the snap, handoff to Hall up the middle. Legs churning up past the 35 to about the 37-yard line.
And not to mention, I just talked about what they bring to the table on the offensive end of the ball. We also talked a lot about defensively, how disciplined they are. And Jake, a couple times you mentioned right on that they read plays very well and are able to put themselves in good position.
Yeah, well, not only does the front 7 just constantly get a surge into the backfield, the cornerbacks have done a nice job of reading plays where there's motion and whether to bite or not. They've been almost perfect.
Looks to pass, fires. That pass dropped.
That was
Intended for Josiah Lopez, the senior.
That's the case if the ball is taking a little bit too long to get there. As a receiver, you tend to take your eyes off the ball and you want to look upfield before you actually have it. That's a common error of a receiver in that situation.
I think that just about sums up how Sterling has done really in this first half to this point. So a 3rd down and 7 at about the 37-yard line. And a flag on the play. That'll be a false start. And that's going to move the Knights back.
Penalty on Sterling for a false start.
Yeah, and obviously a rough half here, but hopefully in the second half they can get a little bit of life going. Obviously this game looks a little out of reach, but
so a little keeper going to go up a little bit past the 30, but that's really it. And it looks like this might just run down. About 10 seconds remaining in the first half of play. And yeah, it looks like Sterling's just going to let this wind down.
The last play
And that
of the
is going to do it
first half.
for the first half of action. Seneca on top of the Knights, 41-0, just complete domination. Second half action coming up right after this.
And welcome back to Sterling Channel 19 here for second half action of Sterling versus Seneca. Sterling down by a lot here, 41-0. And the man of the hour has been Zach Fearon for the Seneca Golden Eagles.
Yeah, Seneca's come in as billed, a favorite in Group 3, and they're playing like that in this game. Sterling's just pretty much been overwhelmed from the get-go. Seneca running the opening kickoff back. And we were just talking, at the end of that first half, how Seneca is really just a solid team on both sides of the ball. Defensively, they're well disciplined. You can't beat them on the outside, can't beat them up the middle. On the offensive side of the ball, they can run the ball. They run the read option. They can throw the ball. So really do a lot of different things. And like I said, there's a reason why they're favorites in Group 3 this year.
Yeah, Seneca are a really strong team, and they've really shown that tonight. And you look at their schedule. It is really important that they pick up games early in the season. They go Triton, PVI, Hightown, Cherry Hill West, Moorestown, Cinnaminson, Northern Burlington, and Cherokee. And those are some really tough games, so it's important they pick up wins early in the season, get that momentum going for them.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely looking like a W here to this point. Hopefully Sterling can have a good second half and turn it around. Not much to speak of offensively. Obviously, the big 0 on the scoreboard there. And Seneca's offense and defense has just gotten such a surge from the offensive line. It's been hard for Sterling to really stop or gain anything on the offensive end.
Yeah, they're just overwhelmed. But if I'm a Sterling coach right now, I'm looking to see who's playing right to the whistle.
Yeah.
And to me, that's going to determine who's going to get the bulk of the playing time next week. We're going week to week here, and I think they want to have competition. And if guys are, flying to the ball, playing hard, even if they're not a starter, even if they're a young guy, they're going to put themselves in position to get more playing time moving forward.
Yeah, I think it's really important for Sterling this half to just get anything to build on to take into next game. They've got another tough opponent next week, and it's really important that they get something to build off, get some momentum to bring into next week.
Yeah, next week another tough opponent for the Knights as they take on Camden at Camden. We will not be covering that game. That day we will have soccer at the Castle against Haddon Heights. I believe it's girls soccer.
Boys soccer.
Boys soccer. So thank you, Mr. Schulz. It's boys soccer. I stand corrected. But
every once in a while you make a mistake.
Yeah.
It's few and far between.
So guys, we are covering football, just the other type. Am I right, Jake? Wow.
But they'll take on Camden at Camden, and then they have a homestand, 2-game homestand against Haddon Heights and Collingswood before they hit the road to take on Camden Catholic and West Deptford and close out the season at home against Gloucester and then Haddonfield. So Sterling, with a couple winnable games there on that schedule, a couple of tough ones. Obviously, a team like Camden, they were a 10-win team last year, and they ended up winning that Group 3 title. So
beating Seneca, correct?
Yeah. So Sterling has to play 2 quote-unquote title-bound teams. There's only one can walk away with it, and that was Camden. But Seneca made it all the way there and came up just short.
And we were looking at the schedule at halftime, and the way this goes, it goes in 2-year runs of who you're scheduled against, and Sterling's at the end of that 2-year run, and with them, if they have the type of season which we think could happen as we look at prospective games there, the schedule would get recycled, and they would definitely play a lesser schedule, which helps if you're trying to build a program. There's no question about it. And then, you work your way back to the tougher teams as you build your program up.
And then to think about it, Sterling has a lot of sophomores and freshmen on this team, whereas when they get a little bit older and have a lessened schedule, it could be good for them to have a lesser schedule with a good team with a bunch of then seniors and juniors at that point. But Sterling now trots out onto the field ready to receive the second half kick.
Yeah, and obviously it's a good thing for Sterling getting Kyrie Hines a lot of reps at quarterback, especially because he's a freshman. He'll be with the program the next 3 years. So you know you're going to have another 3 years with him. It's good that he's getting the experience now and not later in his high school career.
Here is Gamble. Great return, tackled right around midfield. And again, good kickoff returns from the Knights. That's been about the only positive that they've had to this point.
I agree, Jake. That's definitely the strength or, the highlight of this game to this point. And, and that's part of the coaching staff's job is not only correct mistakes, but also definitely highlight and film some things the team's done well just to keep guys going in a positive way.
And besides the kick return touchdown on the first play of the game, I think Sterling's special teams has been the best part of their ball all day.
So the Knights trot out 1st and 10 from their own 49.
So it will be a running clock to start the second half.
Bit of confusion here now. Hines in the shotgun. Motions over. Ollie Ward takes the snap, rolls out left, quick pass. And that one is corralled by Ollie Ward, and he's brought down for a minimal gain, but now into Golden Eagle territory.
Yeah, and that was a great tackle there by Carter Applegate. Being able to hold him by the jersey and get him down. Overall, great tackle. He wrapped him.
I think this is a good game for Hines at the quarterback position. Sometimes when you face a much better team, you're worried about them getting hit. I don't see that as much, but I see them putting pressure on him, forcing him to react quicker. And when you do that, you play at a team at a faster speed. It only makes you better in your quicker decision making.
And I really like how he's looked rolling out of the pocket and throwing. It's really been, I think, the best part of his game all night.
Here's Hines, takes the snap, drops back, fires over the middle of the field, passes incomplete. Was intended for Bub Hall there. We'll bring up a 3rd and 6.
When you look at Hines' passes, it seems like he's not as strong of a pocket passer. It seems like when he gets out, when there's pressure on him, it almost feels like he throws better when he's rolling out of the pocket.
Well, even that one, I don't mind that too much because he threw it in a tight window. You had 2 defenders there, but he threw it low where either his receiver could get it or nobody's going to get it.
Yeah, definitely.
A little less than 9:30 remains here. Sterling trails 41-0 to Seneca. And they break the huddle for a 3rd and 6. Here is Hines, motions Ollie Ward, takes the snap. Handoff there to Hernandez. Hernandez, strong running. And did the ball pop out?
Stopped there by number 7, Carter Applegate.
Applegate on the tackle.
Short of the first down.
And Sterling is short of the first down marker. Looked like the ball almost popped out there for a second.
Yeah, one thing you're going to see from a team like Seneca and a program and a culture that they have is if somebody's coming in a second man and on the ball, they're going to try to strip the ball. Not that they want to get a turnover and run the score up because they're not that type of team, not that type of program, but instincts just take over.
Yeah.
And that type of football is why they're successful and are going to win close games.
And especially when they have their second stringers in, they have that competitive
Sure.
gene. They want to win. They want to win over that starting spot. So even when Seneca has their second stringers in, it feels like they're playing their first string just because they're all competing for a spot.
4th and 2. Here's Hall. And from afar, it looks like he has the first down. However, he's just short of the line to gain, so a turnover on downs there for the Knights as Bub Hall just couldn't turn the corner there.
We always talk about successful programs year in and year out. Obviously, getting in a position here where you're up by a lot, you're giving these younger guys a chance to play, a chance to get varsity experience, and it translates into continued success year in and year out.
Yeah, and that's just a tough break for Sterling. There was a great design play. Seneca was just there to meet him at the first down marker.
Snap is taken by Walsh, hands it off there. Nice run to the outside. Big gainer, he's at the 40, now at the 30, cuts it back inside. And he's still on his feet, now at the 10, the 5, and he walks into the end zone. Huge run there for Jamar Watherin. for the touchdown.
What a great overall just power run.
So Wathren notches another touchdown on the night. Moves the score to 47-0 in favor of Seneca with 7:04 remaining in this third quarter.
Yeah, he just hit a second gear right there, saw that opening, and it's the mark of a good back. You're getting upfield in a hurry.
Here is Cutts to attempt the extra point. And there's a flag.
That's going to be an offsides on Sterling. Looks like they jumped on the edge a little bit too early.
Atkins jumped early. So Cutts will try it again. Now just a little bit closer. Kick is up and it is blocked. Blocked, and kick is no good, so Cutts is 5 for 7 on the day.
And we're set for some push-ups here.
Brian McLernan in the press box is doing them too. Phenomenal form.
Look at him.
Yeah,
Hey,
Brian-
somebody sit on his back. Sit on his back, see if he can still.
I don't think he wants me sitting on his back.
His face got even more red when I said that. Does he have a bloody nose right now from all the strain? No, he's okay. He gave up. He tried, though.
Tried for
effort
the
was
47, couldn't get there. Looks like the cheerleaders will.
Never back down, never give up, Brian.
So 7:04 remains. Seneca extends the lead now to 47.
And we've got an interesting tie in here. You know, we talked about Bill Fisher, the coach here at Seneca, the only coach they've ever had. I believe he's been here 21 years. He was the coach at Triton prior to this, and then prior to that was the quarterback coach at Triton. And the quarterback that he coached at Triton, I believe it was in the year 2000, was Mr. McCullough, who's now our business administrator. And Mr. McCullough said Coach Fisher really had a huge impact on his life, and could not say enough good things about him.
Another solid return there for Justice Gamble.
And you even look at the classy way that, right now, start the second half up big, has a lot of the second teamers in there. Definitely not running up the score. You know, you're seeing scores, but they're running the ball. You know, you can't tell a kid not to run the ball. And Coach, or Mr. McCullough said one of Coach Fisher's messages that he always said to him, that I always remember, he said, whatever you do, be deliberate about it. And he said that's something he's really carried throughout his life, not only in football. I know he played, Mr. McCullough played at Westchester, but he's carried it even beyond that and throughout his professional career.
So the Knights trot on here offensively. Ollie Ward goes into motion. Snap, handoff up the middle. And a run for about 2 yards. Short gain, so it'll bring up, we'll call it 2nd and 8 from the 30 as the clock keeps ticking. Now 5:30 remains in this third quarter. Just joining us, Seneca leads at 47-0 over the Sterling Silver Knights. Joined here in the booth by Mr. Schulz and Connor Strauss. Brian McLernan was also on in the first half. He'll be coming back in the fourth.
We expect an outstanding fall season from all the sports. Girls soccer is supposed to field a real good team, as is boys soccer. And our next Channel 19 game being televised will be on Friday against Haddon Heights.
That should be a great game.
Yeah, I mean, it's the thing that, there's a lot of competitiveness, a lot of rivalries in the Colonial Conference, especially when it comes to soccer, because usually the Group 2 champion or year in, year out, a lot of the teams that go deep into playoffs in Group 2 are Colonial Conference teams.
Yeah.
And
Very
I-
competitive division for soccer. I'm sorry, Jake. Go ahead.
And I think it'll be interesting. The soccer team on the boys' side of it definitely had a lot of seniors that were impact players. A lot of guys from the class of 23. Going to be looking to see how some of the guys from the class of 24 and those juniors, the class of 25, step up to try and fill those holes from the leaving seniors.
Yeah, and they made a deep playoff run last year, getting to the championship against Delran.
Yeah, definitely. It's also going to be interesting. It's far away, but once the winter season comes, to see how the boys basketball team comes back.
Yeah.
And they all, I mean, under Coach Behringer, they've always been great. And I don't have any doubts that they're not going to be great again this year. Phenomenal coach.
And I think they're going to have scoring and just overall good play from a lot of different sources. It's not going to be somebody just taking the ball, one person having be your go-to guy. It could be a leading scorer, different leading scorer each and every night.
Yeah, and the way Coach Shivers broke it down to me is it seems to go back and forth year by year. My freshman year when Antoine Arnett was here, he was kind of the main guy where
No
he
doubt.
took care of the ball, and you knew he was going to go out and get 20 every single night. And then we saw in that sophomore year, it was a bit of a balance attack. It was Zingaro, Ermel, Tummings, a couple other guys from that team that could go out and be your leading scorer every night. As that passes falls to the ground incomplete.
And that, you talk about great programs, great cultures. We've talked about the Seneca football team here and what they've been able to do. But you go back to what Coach Behringer's done, and very quickly, guys who didn't see a lot of playing time come in and take on roles early on in the season. I think you saw that last year with the start that Sterling was able to get, with a lot of guys that didn't see significant playing time the prior year, but were around that culture, and it really had an impact on how they played last year.
Yeah, and I think the team should be exciting as Garrison comes back for his senior year. You got guys like Travis Schmidt and Julian Johnson that are going to be juniors that started almost all of their sophomore year. Should be exciting to see as the punt is away, and it's a low line drive kick, scooped up on a bounce, and a nice job of group tackling there for the Knights to drive number 10, David Vaca, backwards.
And that's what I was talking about. Coaches are going to watch. You're down by a lot. Who's flying to the ball? You saw 3 bodies there flying to the ball, and that's a good thing to see. And obviously a rough night going against a much better team, but you're still seeing guys compete.
So just over 2 minutes left in this third quarter. 47-0 in Seneca's favor. So we're just looking for anything to build off of at this point.
And we've seen that dual quarterback system. Now Tarico is back out on the field. He's in an empty set right now. In jogs Carter Applegate with the play call here. Applegate now lines up directly behind Tarico. He takes the snap from the pistol. Hand off to Applegate. He's got a lane and a good tackle there. A touchdown saving tackle by one of the Knights' defensive backs.
That'll be a first down for Seneca.
And I think I sound like a broken record, but the surge that the Seneca offensive line and defensive line has really gotten has been very vital in them being up big on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they're not trying to fool anybody, just running it right up the gut.
Another handoff play here. This time Sterling reads it perfect. And Applegate is stopped in his tracks. A loss there
And the other
for
thing,
the junior tailback.
a program that's really built a culture and a tradition is going to bring out is people, is fans. You look at these stands, they're packed. And this is a pretty good size set of stands here. One of the bigger stands, I think, in South Jersey, really extends wide out, and they're pretty much full for the most part. I mean, some people thinned out now with the blowout, but early on they really had a good crowd here.
Yeah, very impressive crowd, especially because school hasn't started yet.
Right, yep.
So, yeah, like these kids are all still on summer break, and they still showed out to support their team. Really like to see that.
And I think the super fans at the home game, obviously with a bit of a drive here to Seneca, obviously not as many came out. But at the home game against Lindenwold, I think we had a good crowd
We did.
on site,
Yeah, we
especially
did.
for it being a week 0 game.
Sure.
And if you look to our right in the booth, we got a full moon out tonight. Very interesting. Full moon. If we can,
That's a go Knights.
I think we're going to get Ben Nicholas there on the, try and get the moon.
He just told Kane no.
And Ben will be on the broadcast, right, for the fourth
I believe
quarter
so.
coming in here.
I think he's going to come in. It'll be me, Brian, and
And
Ben.
Ben, Big Ben.
Ben was one of our announcers for when it came to girls lacrosse.
Yeah, did a real good job.
Roll out right for Tarico, fires, and it is hauled in on the near sideline.
Ben,
Catch
of
is
course,
made by Jake Hassan.
Ben is a lacrosse player, so we were able to capitalize on all that knowledge, right?
And so that'll do it through 3. Seneca leads now 47-0 as we begin the fourth quarter. Been a rough night for Sterling on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, you're right, Jake. It's just been a really unfortunate night for the Knights. Just really haven't been able to get something going offensively or defensively. You start in the very beginning of the game. You thought that Sterling might have some momentum defensively. Made a couple nice big plays, nice deflections, especially the one in the end zone by Bub Hall. But then Sterling really just couldn't get anything else going. Nothing offensively, very predictable with their offensive play calling for the most part. And it's just been very unfortunate as they're down so big tonight.
Yeah, and obviously, tough loss, but you got to come in, and you knew Seneca was a good program. They brought back 10 of their 11 starters, and they made almost a title run last year. So for them to come out, they're obviously a good program. They built it up over the past 20 years under one coach. And I think that this is a good learning curve for Sterling as they need to be more predictable in play calling, it seems like, against tougher opponents. So we're now joined on the broadcast by Ben Nicholas.
Thank you. Hello. Thank you for introducing me, Jake. Glad to be here. This is quite the game for Sterling. Not exactly what you wanted to see.
It's definitely a game in history, not one that many on the Sterling side will want to look back and remember. As here's Tarico, fires a strike down the field. Good play there by number 8, Justice Gamble, to knock that one away. And that's what Mr. Schultz was really talking about is guys who come out and don't look at the scoreboard, they just want to play. And Gamble making a nice play right there, no matter the score.
Those are the type of defensive plays that you have to build on if you're Sterling. I mean, we've seen a couple of nice deflections by this Sterling secondary, and that was one of them. Just a great play by Gamble to force the incompletion.
And obviously not going to come away with the victory in the game, but you got to take some small victories like that. Good play by Gamble to interrupt the flow of this Seneca offense.
Yeah, the Sterling secondary has done a good job breaking up some of those passes on the long game from Seneca. You got to take these small victories like you were saying, because right now it's obviously not really doing too well in the long game. Brian McLernan making some nice draft picks.
Thank you. I started a fantasy football draft during my third quarter break, and I got to continue. I can't be auto-drafting. I take this stuff seriously, guys.
It means something to him.
So a 4th and 12. Seneca's still going to go for it. Tarico drops back to pass, fires, and that one is way out of reach for the receiver on the outside. It was intended for Jake Hassan. Gamble in coverage. And there's the moon that we were talking about earlier.
Very nice shot of the moon.
Good shot of the moon. It's a full moon tonight.
And didn't we have that rare blue moon yesterday?
I'm not sure, but
Yeah, I didn't notice
I
that.
think we did. I mean, it's not really blue,
Yeah.
like the Smurfs movie.
Yeah. Good job from our cameraman Connor Strauss out there doing my dirty work after I just got off the camera.
Known cameraman Connor Strauss and known announcer Ben Nicholas.
Yeah, we switch it up. This is my first time on the broadcast since girls lacrosse. So that was a fun game with Jake. That was a very nice game.
That was a fun game. Fun times up in the booth. Always a good time with Ben in the booth.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks,
So
Jake.
now here's Hines.
Hines and shotgun.
That's right. Hines is in the shotgun, as said by Ben. Ready to take the snap. A late substitution being made here. On-trotted Denzel Wiggins, the junior. Motion. Snap. And it is given to Ollie Ward. He's near the near side. Makes a man miss, but is met quickly. First initial defender.
Looks like he just made it back to where the ball was placed originally.
Yeah, just back to the line of scrimmage. It was number 2, George Horner, that was there. First defender on the tackle.
One of the things I liked at the start of the second half, was that Sterling was making a lot of quick passes, a lot of quick action plays by the QB, just trying to really break up what they were doing in the first half, which was a lot of run plays. So I like that sort of change up by the coaches over the break. I feel like, if they kept it going, if they made that first down, it could have really given them some more momentum.
So now a 2nd and 9 here. And obviously those in-game adjustments, even though they haven't really paid off to this point, have definitely been pivotal because you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. There's a strong run for a minimal gain.
It was a very nice change of pace to see the team try to make a little bounce back, even if it's just to, get themselves ready for other games to come up, because the chances of them obviously making a comeback right now it's not.
Almost slim to none here with 8:09 remaining. Seneca still leads 47-0 over the Knights. It's a 3rd and 8. And we were talking about how excited we are to cover some of the other sports during the fall season, such as boys and girls soccer.
Those would be fun.
Yeah, it's boys soccer next Friday?
It is.
Oh.
And I was saying how interested I would be to see how the holes get filled. There was a lot of class of 23s as Hines fires a strike down the field, and that's hauled in by Gamble. Gamble still on his feet around the 30, makes a spin, still chugging along, and is forced out of bounds, but a great throw and an even better catch from Justice Gamble.
I think that was Sterling's biggest gain of the day so far.
I think you're right there, Ben, and it's by a long shot. Freshman quarterback fires a strike down the field to the senior wide receiver who made a great catch on the outside, Brian.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of throws by Hines, especially last week. That he's made some perfectly placed balls so far this year, and that was one of them. Just a terrific throw to get the Knights in the red zone.
Yeah, last week against Lindenwold was a very good game for the young QB.
Now in the red zone, and there's a jump. Looked like an encroachment penalty there for the Golden Eagles. So that'll move Sterling even closer to the goal line and hoping
maybe we could
get on the board here, yeah.
Some points on the board for this game. That would be very nice. Shutouts are not exactly what you want.
It's looking promising here. Dual running back here set for Sterling. They hand it off to Bub Hall. Looks to bounce it outside. Hall is into the end zone for a touchdown. So Sterling is on the board here. It is now 47-6 with 6:39 remaining in this fourth quarter. The Knights have punched it in for 6.
Yeah, Mr. K was getting jiggy with it here in the booth as
he was getting down. He was busting a move.
Bub Hall pounding into the end zone. What a run.
I think that's very good for the morale of the team. Obviously, again, chances of comeback are slim, but just getting points on the board, not allowing the shutout to happen, that's very good to keep the morale of the team at least going, especially against the tougher teams coming up on the schedule.
You definitely got to keep the morale high, as you said, Ben. It looks as if the Knights will go for 2 here as they're in the huddle.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, at this point.
Nothing to lose at this point, and so
might as well go big or go home.
Here is Hall. And miscommunication now. Still looking at the sideline. Here comes in Hernandez. Looks like he'll have the play. So here is Hall. He's going to try and punch it in from the Wildcat. And is he in? He got tripped up. I'm not sure if he's short, and he will be short. Just tripped up right in front of the goal line.
You hate to see it, but not everything's going to work out.
Yeah, not everything is worked out here for Sterling as they're down 47-6. But it's a good job there, good play call, and a nice run by Bub Hall, who bounced it out to the outside.
It looks like we have an injury on the field. I think that's Bub Hall on the ground. Yeah, that's the Bub Hall on the ground.
And And that is not good, as he was the one who scored the touchdown and has been a pivotal part in these first 2 games for the Silver Knights.
Yeah, he scored a touchdown on the ground and through the air last week. Very big factor into that win.
Yeah, he has been a pivotal part of Sterling's offense this season. So let's hope everything goes well.
And he's also made a couple big defensive plays tonight in the secondary, knocking some very well-placed balls.
You have a lot of seniors and returning players coming back and playing both sides of the ball this year. So that's what you need sometimes on teams. You need players who can make plays on both sides of the ball.
Well, I think Sterling has a good mix as we take a look at the roster sheet of seniors and juniors who have some experience on varsity, and a lot of incoming freshmen and sophomores. Another injury that looks like it's being attended to on the sideline for the Golden Eagles.
Number 51
is Joe Donofrio.
Yeah. I would just like to shout out that Sterling definitely has a good up-and-coming class with the freshman year. I really do think they have a lot of good weapons on their offense, and the QB has obviously shown out. My little brother, shout out, big 8th grade year, Will Nicholas. Yeah.
Yeah, Hines has really been pretty impressive as a freshman, especially for, never seeing varsity reps before and coming out and playing quarterback. He's done a nice job of making the right read in most scenarios than I think I would have expected out of, a typical high school freshman quarterback.
Yeah, he made a lot of nice throws last week in their 19-0 win, and he's shown flashes tonight, even though it's not really being represented well on the scoreboard. He's thrown a couple nice balls. That deep play that led to the touchdown earlier, he's looked promising tonight.
Kicks away, and it will take a bounce, now scooped up around the 5-yard line. And now bouncing it outside around the 20, 25, 30. Has a lane and is eventually run out of bounds there.
Ooh.
And
Still
a bit of an extra shove.
From number 24, that's Reggie Brown.
But a good return there for Carter Applegate, who's had a pretty solid game tonight.
As the Seneca offense comes on the field.
Yeah, and Seneca is one of those schools where they started their football program a little later than everybody else. About 20 years ago was their first official varsity season. And they've had the same coach throughout it all, which I think is really impressive.
That shows a very strong foundation for this team. It shows that they're really a very well built up and well kept team by this coach, Bill Fisher. So
flags fly at the beginning of that play and a minimal gain from Applegate as 5:30 remains here. Sterling on the board with 6 points. They still trail 47-6 in this fourth quarter. Our next TV game will be Friday. It'll be boys soccer at 3:45. Pretty sure you're going to hear Connor Strauss on the call there.
Soccer aficionado Connor Strauss, known soccer fan. Big Philadelphia Union guy.
He is a huge Union fan.
Yeah, so.
Him and former Channel 19 announcer Johnny Wiggles.
That's right, Wiggles, yeah. Wiggles is a huge soccer guy.
Yeah. I've gone to a few games with the both of them. It's very fun. That's Subaru Park.
Yeah, very fun sports environment there. I went with my uncle one time.
Yeah. Very loud in the section I was in.
Yeah, Sons of Ben is definitely very loud.
Not exactly,
to say the least.
Not exactly appropriate for TV either. I'll say that.
Not family friendly out the window in the Sons of Ben. Back to football now. Tap taken in from the pistol. Handoff to Applegate. He's got a lane. Good, strong run there.
The other type of football.
That's right. Strauss made the same joke.
Oh.
You're a little late, but that's all right.
I'm sorry, Leslie.
You sound so
my
disappointed.
Fault. I can't steal someone else's joke, man, even if I didn't hear it.
I mean,
it's hard to hear out there.
Especially when you're stealing from Strauss.
I mean, we got a lot of funny guys here on the broadcast.
Funny guy.
As Brian just picked Tyler Higbee.
My backup tight end, guys.
That's a good backup tight end. Personally,
yeah, I mean, when we get to the fantasy aspect here, Brian's filling out a solid team here.
Let's re-up this team.
He's got Dak, McCaffrey, Ramondre Stevenson, Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hawkinson, and James Conner at the flex. You see some of the bench there. It's Mike Evans, Marquise Brown, Jamal Williams, Brian Robinson Jr., and Tyler Higbee.
Prepare for a lot of interceptions this season, Brian.
Yeah, with Dak Prescott at the helm.
Look, I wanted to take Justin Fields, but the guy right before me took him, so I kind of had to go with Dak.
You could have gone, come on, Aaron Rodgers had to still be on the board or something.
Look, maybe he is.
Big Kirko?
Maybe I could take him as my backup.
Big Kirko.
Big Kirko.
Nah.
That's our guy.
Cousins
me and Jake
isn't
have
on
a
there.
shared fantasy team. Shout
That
out
is
B&J.
right.
Ben and Jarkeys, baby.
Ben and Jarkey's ice cream.
As number 7 takes up the field and gets stopped, tackled by, looks like Justice Gamble.
Yeah, Applegate with a strong run up the middle of the field there. Picks up a first down.
24-yard line.
Me and Ben were blessed to have the first pick in Connor Strauss's league. Took Justin
And-
Jefferson there.
No, we actually took Jets defense. I think you're wrong there. Yeah, that's the set consensus number 1 pick for fantasy.
A very fun league we had. This is our third year doing it.
A very loud league. I feel bad for Connor Strauss
sure.
in his basement. It was
Yeah.
left in a state of complete and utter chaos after we left.
A lot of
Poor kid had to-
a lot of liquid deaths lying
Poor
around by
kid
the
had
end
to
of the
clean
night.
it up all by himself. Shout out Connor Strauss.
No.
Snap is taken and a handoff there. Applegate
Shut
met
down.
in his tracks. Good tackle there by Mason Boy Neal, the freshman.
He's a big kid. It's good to see.
Very big guy on the offensive line, only a freshman too. Has plenty of time to grow within his 4 years here at Sterling.
He has enough time to develop and hopefully fill in the spot of a lot of the offensive line that's going to be leaving after this year. Nico Jolene is going to graduate.
Malachi Gould will graduate,
Malachi
but you're
Gould.
losing both your guards there next season.
So that's going to be a tough spot to put the team in next year, but I have faith in the coaching staff and I have faith in this freshman class to develop.
Yeah, and I have a lot of confidence in Coach Wiggins now being the coach, especially because he's a guy that's already been invested in the school, went to Sterling, was a pretty solid wrestler, other than the fact that he was under 100 pounds during his freshman year. He could have cracked 100 wins if he had a little more weight on him. And then came back, was an assistant. He was once the middle school head coach for Sterling, became an assistant varsity coach, and is now the head wrestling coach for Sterling. In his first season was last year, now taking up the football job.
That's also without mentioning that he is also a pastor and he's also head wrestling coach. So he has a lot on his plate. And shout out to him. He seems like a great dude.
I can't say enough good things about Coach Wiggins. He really does care about every single one of his players, every single one of his wrestlers. He really wants to make them just better, not only as athletes, but as people too.
And I think it shows out on the field as a lot of their players just playing with a lot of love, a lot of passion, a lot of grit. Because I don't see really a lot of these nights giving up on any of these plays, no matter what the score is.
I think this team will stand strong and stand tall, even if they are playing against a tough schedule and they're not exactly going to win all their games. I think with him at the helm of the team, he's going to really be able to keep them together, keep the morale high, and keep the team going throughout the entire season this year.
And obviously looking at the schedule, you got Camden next week and then a 2-game homestand against Haddon Heights and Collingswood. We'll see what those teams have to offer. I think Heights is going to be pretty successful this season.
Definitely. They have a lot of good weapons on their offense. Wow.
And a leaping, was that ball intercepted?
That ball might have been intercepted.
A leaping grab there by the defensive back on the far side of the field.
That was a very good-looking play by the defense there. One of the best plays of the game, honestly,
Yeah.
by Sterling.
Getting the takeaway, just unfortunately now the clock will wind down.
From 13 all the way down. This has been a game that's shown, obviously, a lot of flaws with the team. But from there, I think you could take this at how it is, and you could try your best to build yourselves back up after this game and get ready for the next couple of games on the schedule.
Yeah, really, it's all about bouncing back. It's not going to be really about tonight's flaws. It's going to be how you respond to those flaws, because a lot of mistakes were made tonight, but a lot of promise was shown as well, and hopefully they can take some of that promise and give it to Camden next week.
Definitely.
So that'll do it here for us on Channel 19. We'll have boys soccer at the Castle at 3:45 against Haddon Heights. But until then, this game ends in a 47-6 final in favor of Seneca. And I just want to say thank you to Mr. K for bringing all the equipment out here. Connor Strauss and Ben Nicholas splitting the camera duty, and everybody that was on the call tonight, and Mr. Schules, Brian McLernan, myself, Jay Clark, Ben Nicholas, thanks for hopping on in the fourth, and Connor Strauss. And that'll do it for us here at Seneca High School. We will see you Friday. Go Knights.
Go Knights.
Good nights.